Today, Precarious plays Transistor.
So what do you want to talk about?
You know, I don't know, but I don't want to talk about this.
Do you mean this?
The game that we're playing currently.
Oh.
I mean, it's just, I feel like we've gotten to this point where I don't know how much discovery is left as far as the mechanics and stuff go.
Yeah.
And I don't see how it's going to magically turn it around and be like, oh, this is the best game ever. You know, I mean, it's clear that the visuals and the presentation, both, you know, the audio and the visuals, lovely. It's fun how they deliver the story, but I don't know if you're... No, I don't know. I know you're not having fun with the mechanics very much.
Do you want to give it a try? Maybe it's just me. Do you want to play for a second?
What happens if I die?
Here, nothing.
Okay. We can trade. If you want.
Let's try this for just a little bit.
You ready for me to wander around like a wobbly foal and then get ate?
You're in the practice room, it's fine.
Oh, okay. So I don't have any powers right now?
You just have to go to the access point.
Okay.
The button prompts on screen are for an Xbox controller.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and that's just a PlayStation.
I will try my best to remember where that stuff is. Okay, so what do I even...
Well, here's the thing. We've got to talk about something.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to tell you too much because what I'm trying to figure out right now is what's it like when somebody just
has everything?
Well, no, just sort of approaches this fresh. Now, it's a little because they are, I think, in sequential order. Mask. Did really it mask that late? Maybe pretend like we only have up till bounce, because you get that many functions in the first hour or so of playing. So pretend like you only have those first 5, and what would you do with them?
I don't know. Let me read a minute.
Mm-hmm. I suppose I should talk about something.
Do they have upgrades? Oh, okay. I have upgrade slots available for 2.
Yes, you have 2 upgrade. No. So the large square under each of the face buttons.
Yeah.
That is the active slot. The small squares underneath, those are the upgrade slots. A and X each have 1 unlocked. B and Y both have 2 unlocked. The 2 squares up to the left, those are the passive slots.
And the passive effects go across all of the everything.
No, the passive slots generally just relate to Red herself.
Okay.
Although I guess that there is at least one that's just like, yeah, you have more base damage.
Okay.
But generally it's Red stuff. I know what I want to talk about.
Yeah, you talk about something. I'll read real quick.
Supergiant, they released, I think it's out of early access. They released their 4th game, Hades, and because I'm very vulnerable to art.
Vulnerable to it?
Yes, I have a critical art weakness. I suffer from chronic art attacks. My blood pressure is just way too high. No. I get drawn into Supergiant games very easily, but I've been trying to keep my mitts off of Hades, which is a shame because I love Greek myth and that aesthetic, and I love how sculpted and beautiful everybody is. It feels like another game, maybe even more than the visuals in this game, which are very like Red-centric. Just everybody's super duper hot in Hades. And the reason why I've been avoiding it is because for a while now, I've had a rule where I've just, if something has a roguelike tag, I ignore it. I mechanically ignore it using the functions of Steam. I say, do not show me this again.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like it's a set of mechanics that have been wrongfully appropriated, have been popularized for the wrong reasons, and have just been abused. The purpose of roguelike mechanics, it was to create a very specific experience. It was supposed to be an electronic dungeon master that was trying to engineer the ingenuity. It was trying to recreate the ingenuity of a human dungeon master. And the way that actually manifested, it's never worked well. It's never been good. You know, roguelike mechanics have always been functionally flawed. Because if you've played actual D&D, you realize that it feels so fickle and arbitrary, and it's not a good representation of like the original thing it was trying to ape. And I just see people far too often taking all of those mechanics and using them uncritically. Like, you know what's a roguelike that I'm actually pretty happy with, like pretty fond of? Pokemon Mystery Dungeon.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons why, other than the affection for the brand, it's because there are elements that are just dropped. There are elements that are typical to like the subgenre, the roguelike designation, that they just say, nah, we don't do that. Oh, you can pull the right trigger to go into turn. And then in here, left trigger reverts the last thing you queued.
Okay. So I want to do that and that. No.
So left trigger will.
My wooblies are not good.
You can hold the button down to aim, but you got it. And then right trigger commits to it.
Yeah. I mean...
But because they are so broadly, it's so common to see, you know? Just people copying someone else's homework in a very blatant, uncritical way. You know, it's not even like classy plagiarism where you switch some of the words around.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've just started ignoring them. I don't care how popular it is. I don't care what the reviews say, because it's just like, well, no, you're probably being duped by the dopamine rush of a genre that is misapplied very often. But
okay, I think I'm done. This is not a very fast thing, and the enemies don't have... Like, I wish every attack came out faster so that I could make some kind of combo, and I don't really like turn very much.
What do you mean you don't like turn? Like, it just doesn't feel satisfying to...
Yeah, I mean, I'm like, okay, well, I would like to be over here and then use my A move to herd that one that direction. And then by the time, well, okay, this is a bad example because I moved poorly, but
Yeah.
you know, and then I'm like, okay, and then I want to use my pool cue to try to get them bunched together so that then I can hit them with B, which is what I was doing on the field, you know.
Well, let me see it for just a second.
It's just really slow.
Because maybe... Let's see if I can recommend a few things. I know that
Well, you said
Yeah,
pretend.
I know.
Okay.
This, oh, darn, I don't have... Who's what's it? I don't have, the magnetic one that pulls them around in a very, like, specific way.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, we can probably put this to bed. Here, go ahead and take this, and we'll get started.
Yeah. The thing is, so noticing what was bugging me while I was playing is the slowness of it all. The sluggishness of my movements. Those enemies were doing absolutely nothing. And I mean, I guess it makes sense because it is. I mean, she is lugging around an enormous freaking sword. But at the same time, I don't know. I want to be able to do everything faster.
I don't know. That enormous sword has some properties that don't line up with...
Well, and maybe I wasn't using jaunt enough. Maybe that was part of it.
I haven't been using jaunt at all for a while.
It feels weird to try to use jaunt because it doesn't feel like I can aim it really well.
Well, you can hold the button down
to sort of charge it.
To aim it in turn.
Yeah, but not in turn. I don't really want to play in turn.
Yeah, I mean,
turn is great if things get really hectic and you want to pull off something, but, like, it doesn't actually give you the full amount of functions that you have because you have such a limited... You have so many restrictions on your movement that it feels like turn is almost a lie. It's also good to kind of, like, test out ideas and walk around the battlefield. I don't know. That was a really short amount of time to form an opinion, but, like, I have been watching. It's just really short.
I mean, it's mirroring some of what I'm saying, and maybe that's suspect. Like, sometimes I worry that because I'm so opinionated that
it rubs off.
Yeah, and that I'm influencing how you're feeling.
Well, there's no doubt about that, but I look at all of the graphics and I listen to all of the music and I see all the coolness on screen, and then I expect to feel like I'm playing something a little more slick. Do you know?
Yeah, I think I know what you mean. It feels a little like stodgy, right?
Yeah, it feels slow.
I think I had an idea between sessions. Whoa, no, thank you to that. I had an idea. I wonder if I wouldn't enjoy this game more. If, it weren't... I wonder if I would enjoy this game more if it were... Why are you not protecting me? What the hell? I wonder if I would enjoy this game more if it were a side-scroller.
You think that would speed things up? Or what do you think moving it to a side-scroller would do for it?
I think that if it were a side-scroller, and I mean like with a real 2D track that you were moving on, not one of those more beat 'em up styles where there's like a depth
Yeah.
that you can move to. So like Beautiful Joe, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Like a truly.
Fixed 2D plane.
Mm-hmm.
I think that pardon me? I think I've misunderstood power that those enemies have. Disrupted? Screw you, game! There? We're gonna stop there? You know what? That's fine. Yeah, we'll just stop there. I need to think about what I want to think about.
Yeah.
Disrupted? What is that? What's pooping that field on the ground? I must have missed a new ability introduction.